So let's talk about Justin Fields. So there's been a lot of talk recently about Justin Fields, about his future. He's been sliding a little bit down the draft boards as of recently. Justin Fields was the number 2 quarterback for a very long time behind Trevor Lawrence. And a lot of people were saying that, he might have had a chance to have even eclipsed Trevor Lawrence. Now, he had a bit of an up and down year this year. When it was good, it was really good. When it was bad, there were clear holes in his game. And recently, Dan Orlovsky of ESPN made some comments about what he heard. And this is not Dan Orlovsky's, opinion. Orlovsky went on Pat McAfee's show, and he said that he has been told by teams, by GMs or team officials, that there are concerns about Justin Fields' work ethic. The quote from Orlovsky, who was in quoting and paraphrasing other people, was saying that he's more of a last guy in, first guy out kind of guy. There's concerns that he might not be a team player. There's concerns that he might not be a guy who is going to really galvanize the team, a leader. And that leadership quality, obviously, at the quarterback position is extremely important. You need to have that. So that's what was said on the Pat McAfee show. This caused a bit of a stir in the media. This caused a bit of a stir online, on Twitter. And it called into question Justin Fields. It called into question his work ethic. It called into question his draft stock. And we've seen him slide down. Now, Zach Wilson's the number 2 quarterback. There's talk that Trey Lance is probably going to go above him. But we'll see about that. But Dan Orlovsky actually took to Twitter and he made a video where I'll just play the voice here, where he defended Justin Fields and kind of elaborated on his position.
I want to have a conversation about Justin Fields yesterday and what I said on Pat McAfee Show. So Pat on yesterday's show asked me, like, hey, sounds like Justin Fields is dropping. Why do you think that's the case? And I said, I don't know, but I had done some digging and teams had told me that there were concerns with his work ethic, how great he wanted to go be. And I said, that's what I've heard, Pat. And then obviously it created a big conversation and narrative yesterday, firestorm. And so that forced me to do even more digging over the last 24 hours. And I've had 2 conversations that I want to put out there to kind of clarify the situation or put more out there about the situation. One conversation I had is with an offensive coach at Ohio State. And he said, tell them that's absolutely not true, that Justin Fields' work ethic is spectacular, that he is a guy that has great football IQ and he's always studying tape. And then the second conversation I had is with John Beck, who's kind of trained Justin as he's headed into his pro day. And John's had a really positive experience saying that, like, listen, this guy's always working incredibly hard on the field. And even after we're done with our field drills, he's the guy that wants to stay after and work on different footwork or different throws. And so he's had a very good experience. So the reality is that I have heard those things from teams. And they might feel that way. And this is also a season where teams are trying to say things to potentially get a guy to drop to them. And so I've just wanted to clarify and put it out there that, like, listen, over the last 24 hours in more digging, that it seems or it sounds like Justin Fields' work ethic is fantastic. And that's coming from 2 people who have worked directly close to him.
Okay, so there you heard it. Dan Orlovsky of ESPN saying that he's talked to multiple other people. He's talked to people from Ohio State, coaches from Ohio State, and they are rebuking these allegations that Justin Fields might not have the strongest work ethic. And, this is a conversation that comes up a lot. This is a conversation that comes up a lot about, people who were stars in college and who have good potential in the NFL, but, that intangible thing. Like when people talk about intangibles, this is usually what they're referring to. Those leadership qualities. Someone who's driven, someone who has the drive, who has the stamina, who wants it, who has the will. And that's what was called into question by not my Dan Orlovsky, but by these unnamed sources, by these people who apparently are scouts or GMs or whatever in the NFL. They called his work ethic into question. People who have worked with him at Ohio State, Dan Orlovsky, who's followed him, they've all rebuked this, and they think that it's hogwash. Which, if you've watched Justin Fields, I think you can kind of see that. No one gets to the point where Justin Fields is right now without having a strong work ethic. Let's be honest. Justin Fields is, like, he had one of the best seasons in college football that I've seen in a long time. I'm talking about 2 years ago. That team was good. He was leading it. Justin Fields has the arm. He's got the accuracy. He's a little inconsistent with that accuracy, but when he's on point, he's on point. And he's got the ability to run and make plays outside the pocket. So for anyone to say, "Oh, he's a last guy in, first guy out kind of guy," he's doesn't have a lot of work ethic. He's not the best leader. Ohio State doesn't go to a potential national championship. They don't go to the college football playoff, rather. Justin Fields is just another guy playing football. Because he led that team. It's make no bones about it. He led that team. Other teams have gotten there with, okay to good quarterback play, and you can say that their quarterback might not be the leader. Justin Fields is the exact opposite of that situation. Justin Fields was the leader of that Ohio State team. So I don't get it. And I also honestly don't get why he's falling down a lot of draft boards. I understand Zach Wilson is good. I understand Trey Lance is good. I understand people think Mac Jones is good. I disagree. But I do think that people are overlooking Justin Fields quite a lot. I think it still breaks down to me. If you're asking me to rank these quarterbacks 1 through 5, number 1 is Trevor Lawrence. Number 2 is Justin Fields. Number 3 is Zach Wilson. Number 4 is Trey Lance. Number 5 is Mac Jones. So I don't get it. Maybe, and Dan Orlovsky alluded to it, maybe this is another team putting this out there who might want to go trade up for Justin Fields. Maybe the San Francisco 49ers are putting this out there who might want Justin Fields. That seems like the kind of person, the kind of quarterback that they would want instead of Jimmy G, especially in that division. But, this happens. A lot of times teams put this kind of stuff out there to tank someone's draft stock. And, we've seen this kind of stuff happen before. And not necessarily, and this might not even be to tank his draft stock. This might be on purpose. This just might be to tank his draft stock as a way of spite. Because we saw something, we've seen similar tactics, whether it be the Laramie Tunsil video of him smoking pot that was released the night of the draft that potentially led to him losing out on money because he dropped into 13 and he was expected to be a top 5 pick. We saw it with Josh Allen right before the draft. There were some comments that he made on Facebook when he was like 16, 15 years old that, he regrets, that included some racist remarks. So, I mean, this kind of headhunting, this kind of, stuff doing stuff to kind of ruin someone's draft stock or hurt someone in the draft, it's been done before. The question is, does this end up hurting him at all? I don't think so. Thanks for watching this video from Real Take Sports Talk. Remember to like, share, subscribe, hit that notification bell so you get notified whenever a new video is released. Also, remember to check out our live show every single Thursday at 8 p.m. right here on the YouTube channel. And remember, keep it real.